Hey, girlfriends, and welcome back to Coconuts, home of the Long Hair Society. Over here, we believe that long hair is our destiny and big hair is our birthright, and we coming for every single inch. We no longer subscribe to no edges and ponytails that look like Brussels sprouts. We have long, thick, soft hair, and we love it here. If you are ready to become a part of the upper echelon, like minded community of long hair individuals, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and become a part of the Long Hair Society. Over here, we have long hair, small waist, fat asses, and a lot of money. So if I was you, I would go ahead and hit that subscribe button and hit that like button as well, because you're going to love it over here. My name is Crystal, and I am obsessed with growing long hair. I grew my hair long, I grew my family hair long, I grew my clients' hair long, and now I'm going to grow your hair long as well. I grow for the culture. Call me agriculture. So let's get into it. Y'all remember when I did my niece hair way back in November? Yeah, of last year, 2023. Yeah, I gave her a sewing, and it's now April. 6 months later, and it's time to take that sewing out. Yes, honey, this was a 6 month sewing on long, thick hair. I felt sorry for her. I kept seeing her wash out her leave out every 2 weeks, and her hair was looking more and more like hard hair, soft life, if you know what I mean. So I was like, girl, let me go ahead and cut your weave out for you and redo it because it's been 6 months. But homegirl was like, shoot, I'm going to get my money's worth. But how she going to get her money's worth and she ain't even pay me? You see what I'm saying? I did her hair for free. Girl, I don't know what I'm going to find up in her hair today when I start cutting it out. I know we going to see a lot of buildup. It's probably so much buildup in here we can make a building, okay? And from the looks of it, it looked like she got 3 inches of new growth. And that's a whole lot of hair now. Her hair was long before, but now it's definitely going to be long and thick. This is definitely a hack you want to take advantage of. If you know somebody that can give you a 6 month sewing, you do this twice a year, you're looking at 6 inches per year. You can go from a bald-headed scallywag to people putting that respect on your name because you got that long, thick, soft hair now. So if you know somebody you can hook you up with a 6 month sewing, go ahead and pay them what they weigh because it's definitely going to give you the hair of your dreams. Now, don't go out there thinking just because you have your weave in for a long time that you're going to get 3 inches of growth. Nah, it don't work like that. First of all, if you are about to put a protective style in and you know you're going to keep it for a long time, you better butter your hair up. Whenever I do a protective style on somebody, I butter their hair up. I use natural oils and butter, and I make sure that their hair is greasy. I don't care if people be like, oh, that's going to lead to buildup. So I'd rather have a whole bunch of buildup and a whole bunch of new growth than not enough buildup and no growth. You know what I'm saying? So definitely load your hair up with natural products. You definitely want to choose natural products over chemicals because you don't know if those type of store-bought products is loaded with alcohols and acetones that's going to be sitting on your hair for weeks and months at a time, just eroding your hair. No. Use mango butters, use jojoba oils, use Main Magic products from coconuts.com because they're all natural and they're magic and they literally will grow your hair. That's all I've been using on my hair and my clients' hair for the last 5 years. So if I was you, I would grab them. So you definitely want to load your hair up with that. And over the weeks and over the months, you definitely want to hydrate your hair. I'm talking about you want to spray your hair with soft and conditioned water. If you have a sewing, get up in there. Go ahead and spray it up and make sure that you are hydrating the hair strands within the braids underneath the sewing. You definitely want to make sure you cleanse the scalp. If your scalp is itching while you have a protective styling, that is a signal that your scalp is saying, get this shit off of me. So you definitely want to go ahead and shampoo your scalp. Get that product off, get that buildup off, and hydrate and cleanse your scalp at the same time by using preferably a natural cleanser. I have a shampoo that comes with an applicator bottle that can get into your sewings if you decide to use a 6-month sewing or any protective style that you have. Use that, shampoo your hair every couple of weeks. Now, I ain't gonna lie, she ain't shampoo her hair that much. She probably shampooed it once or twice the whole time of the 6 months. She has very long, thick hair. So shampooing her hair and it not drying properly can be a disaster. So she only shampooed it when it was itching really bad, and she made sure she thoroughly dried it. Well, I did, because you know I'm her servant when it comes to these hairstyles. And I put her under the dryer for about an hour or 2 hours until I knew her braids were dry underneath to stop any mildew. Now, I know it looked like it got mildew in there from all this buildup, but I promise you that is just product buildup. And like I said, because we use natural products, that's just natural product buildup, and that's okay. But if your hair is like shoulder length or less than about 14 inches and you are doing a protective style and it's not a sewing, definitely shampoo your hair every 2 weeks or whenever it itches. Or if you do have a sewing, make sure you get up in there, shampoo your scalp, and dry it thoroughly. Now, if your hair is long and thick like hers, you may not be able to wash it as often, but definitely hydrate your braids by spraying it with soft and conditioned water and then using growth drops, preferably the Main Magic growth drops on your hair. And that is going to make sure that you are getting all that new growth. Your new growth is growing in strong and your new growth is growing in thick. Now, be very careful when you're cutting out your sewing, especially if you had it in this long, because as you can see, it's hard to spot the thread and your hair can be all twined and intertwined with the hair extension. So you got to be careful. So I'm using my thread cutters right now. You can get these from Walmart for like $5 instead of scissors because it's more precise and more pointy. And I use that just to snip the thread. Definitely don't do this yourself, okay? Get somebody to do it. Get your man to do it. Get somebody to help you take it out. Ooh, girl, look at that. Do you see all of that going on in there? Child, I know y'all looking at this like, oh, this look gross and nasty. But I tell you, listen, when you see all that long hair after I unravel these braids, you gonna think twice. You gonna realize that a little buildup might be kind of worth it to have long, thick hair. To be honest with you, this protective styling for long, thick hair is not for everybody. This is literally a sacrifice, okay? If you are in the industry, like if you are an influencer or you some type of, IG baddie or something like that, you definitely are not going to be into doing protective styles and keeping it in for a long time. You're in the industry of getting your hair done often, always looking on your P's and Q's, no extra frizz, you don't like old hairstyles. This is not for you. These are for people who realize what their hair is, what their hair actually represents, and they want to increase their electromagnetic field and attract a certain lifestyle. And they know that increasing the length of their hair is not only going to make them more beautiful, but it's also going to help in their life and attract a certain lifestyle. So you got to kind of do things like this that might seem extreme to others to get the hair of your dreams. Now, if you are about this life and you don't care and you want long hair by any means necessary, and you don't care what people say, you don't care how long you got to leave your weave in, you don't care how many sacrifices you got to make as far as finding a hairstylist that's going to finger detangle or learning how to finger detangle, switching to natural products, using hydration and a hydrotherapy method. If you are ready to do all of those stuff, well, welcome. Okay, because that's what my channel is for. It's for people who are serious about getting long hair and they don't really care. Okay, as long as they know that they're doing the techniques, the methods to get them to their goals, they're gonna do it. Do you have to do protective styles to get to long, thick hair? Absolutely not. There are a lot of people who don't engage in doing protective styling like braids or sew-ins or anything like that. They actually just do the loose hair approach. They hydrate their hair, they use natural products, they use finger detangling, and they get their long hair over time. Now, if you want to get there fast, yeah, protective styling is going to help you. And it doesn't matter what your texture is. Even if you have straight hair and you want to go on a long hair journey, you still have to reduce the comb, the brush, and you're going to have to use low manipulation techniques. And protective styling can help you with that because protective styling keeps you from touching your hair on a daily basis. If you know that you can lose up to 100 strands per day, that's what the textbook says. But if you know that right now and you decide, okay, I'm not going to comb my hair for 7 days, instead of losing that 700 strands in that week, you would lose only half of that of natural fallout, which is a dramatic difference. So definitely take advantage of low manipulation techniques and finger detangling, and especially using protective styling. It is true that people with coily hair take advantage of protective styles, and it's only because protective styles help our hair grow. And that's because our hair likes to tangle a lot. And when we keep our hair in a protective style, it allows us not to tear out our hair, manipulate our hair too much. And it allows our hair to just stay still and do what it do, which is grow. So if you have coily hair, definitely take advantage of protective style. And if you have coily hair, you may be wondering, why does your hair coil in the first place? And that's because the shape of the follicle. People who have a circular shape of their follicle have a tendency to have straighter hair or wavy hair. People with the coiled hair have a different shape on their follicle, which makes the hair curl, coil, and kink. So the shape of your follicle on your scalp determines the texture of your hair. Well, so they say in these science books, but that's their reasoning for it. But I have a whole different reasoning, and I'll talk about it another time. There are some important things to know about the coil. The coil doesn't belong to a specific race, contrary to popular belief. A lot of people believe African Americans or Africans have the coil, but that's not necessarily true. There are a lot of people around the world who have melanated skin that do not have the coil. And then you have some lighter skinned people who do have the coil or the curl or the kink. The coil is very rare if you really think about it. There is no animals out there that have the coil. I know a lot of people would say sheep because of wool or poodles, but that's not the coil. So the coil is a very particular type of curl pattern, and you should be proud to have it. You are rare and exotic, if I must say. So as you can see, I have a lot of work ahead of me with her hair. If you want to see me take down these braids, wash, condition her hair, and get it ready for the next protective style, you definitely want to be subscribed to see how I get her hair done in the next video. After I remove these braids and do all the treatments, she's going to reinstall another sew-in. So if you are interested in seeing how a sew-in gets installed, you definitely want to stay tuned for these series. Make sure your post notifications are on so you can be notified when I drop that next video. If you reach to the end of this video, I want you to go ahead and comment below if you would try a 6-month sew-in, and tell me how much you would pay for a 6-month sew-in if you are guaranteed to grow 3 inches of hair. Make sure you check out these amazing hair growth products at coconuts.com. And as always, thanks for